Hey, welcome back to the shop. Been working on the Mustang again, and I'm happy to say that the modifications that I wanted to do to the frame are basically done. I even primered all the bare metal I could get to. Of course, there's going to be more frame modifications in the future, but that's directly related to things like suspension mounts, roll cage tie-ins, and maybe torque boxes in the front. We're going to have to talk about that. So let's take a quick look at the shape of the frame now and why I did what I did. So we'll start right here with the original front subframe that's in really good condition. Of course, you can see that all the front suspension is completely gone. And we go right back into the floor pan of the car and the subframe connectors that I made. You'll notice there's no torque box here. We'll have to evaluate what we're going to do for a torque box depending on where the roll cage tubes land on the inside and what route they come through the engine compartment and land on the front subframe. You can see my frame rail I added in there, and it disappears up into the floor. We got our tie-in plates fully welded, and we're totally welded into the floor on the top side. There's a joint in the tubes here. That tube is welded into the torque box from the underside of the car. And then we go back to my homemade redneck style mini tubs. As we get to the back of the car here, you can see the outside of the mini tubs. So this is where the original torque box is, and the original rear subframe came up and it actually curved out here. So it really took away a lot of space for a big tire. So I cut right about here and added rectangle tube from here to the back, plated the side, and then built my mini tubs on top of that. I don't think I'd do it that way again, but it's not bad. And then I took that rectangle tube and I tied it in with some plates to the rear, what's left of the rear subframe. I did not weld those solid because, as I talked about in my last video, this is all that's left of the original crumple zone in the car. That rectangle tube is really strong. So I'm kind of thinking about what would happen if this car was rear-ended, as it's going to see most of its time on the street. What's going to happen if it gets rear-ended and forward? Now, the main reason I primered all this is to minimize the amount of rust we have to deal with later. There's already plenty of surface rust here, there. The roof is covered with it. We'll be in here again sanding and primering and painting and dealing with all that rust. But right now, I just wanted to get all of that bare sheet metal nice and covered. And you can see that I don't have those seams sealed because the last tube of seam sealer I had turned out to be rock solid and useless. So I will have to buy some more before we do any paint work on there. If you see these bare spots, those are spots that I'm not happy with, or there's just a hole I haven't filled in yet, and there's plenty of holes to fill yet. I'm basically going to fill every hole I can get to in the floor, mostly for fire safety. This has been what I've been working on for the last couple months, is just floor pan and subframe connectors and all that. So I will keep coming back in here and welding more holes up. You know, I'll make some patch panels. I'll keep welding on this, but it's not going to be my main focus now. My main focus is either going to be some rust repair or come up front and we will start planning out the front crossmember install. So I have the measurements for where this crossmember sits in front of the car, front to back, but I don't have the vertical measurements. I have 2-inch drop spindles, and I have the intention of sitting this crossmember as low as I can in the chassis so we have a lot of clearance for oil pan and whatnot. I want to make sure I get my lower control arms level with the ground. And to do that, we're going to have to get some tires and measure up where they're going to sit. I want them to sit just tucked in this fender, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So we got to get the ride height correct, the lower control arm angle correct, and then we can set the distance for this, the height for this. So I think that's one of the next things I'm going to work on, because it's going to take some thinking. I'm going to have to trim this for width, and I can start to fit it in there. And we're going to have to do some plating on the sides of the frame rails here, and reinforcement, because these cars had shock towers, so all the force went through the top of the fender. Now we're only using the frame rail for strength. The roll cage is going to help quite a bit with that, because we'll have tubes coming to the front to share a load. But yeah, that's going to be an adventure. I've never done this before, so we're going to have to learn as we go along. In any case, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.